What's up, everybody? Working on this Scotsman ice and water dispenser, HID 540, I believe. Water runs, but no ice. So I'm gonna open this up and see what's going on with the machine, show you what I find. Just took off the front panel. I have code number 3 displayed, which on the inside of the front panel, it says code 3 is no water sensed, which is kind of weird because this thing is obviously full of water. So I'm gonna need to open this thing up a little bit further and see what's going on. Actually, what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna see what happens if I turn it off and turn it back on. It still shows code 3. I really hope that there's not something wrong with either the control board or the wire harness, and that's why we're not sensing water. I was in the process of taking this thing apart, and I just kind of moved around these wires a little bit, and the machine came on, started making ice. I'm not sure if there's a loose connection somewhere, but essentially these two green wires, got a ground here, same two green wires, they go down into that hole, and they come up through this hole and plug in right here. Like I said, I just started taking it apart and it clicked on. So let me dive a little bit deeper, check these out. If these things get dirty, the machine will end up not working. The machine should actually click off right now. Yeah, there we go, code 3, because it's not sensing any water. So that just popped off there. Sometimes these things can be a little difficult to pull out, but I'm gonna take these out, clean them. I'm gonna go through, check all of my connections, make sure that they're all tight, make sure this is tight and there's not something coming out. I'm gonna take this off, trace the wires all the way down, check these wires here, the two green on the end of this white plug right there. I might even unplug it, plug it back in, and then just run the machine, see if it starts producing ice. So I was wrong before when I was tracing these wires. It is these two green, but after they go down and come back up, it's this green here and it's this green here. Those are your two water level sensors. I'm going to put everything back together, see if this thing starts to produce or if it shuts off on a no water safety again. It's kind of weird that just in the process of taking it apart and it decided to click on. There you go. Compressor is going to start. Once it starts making ice, we'll check back in on the machine and see what's going on. So we have ice. Machine has not shut off on the no water fault yet, code number 3. A couple things I want to just go over. I'm going to point them out to you. Just things to check if you ever run into this issue. Sometimes the little spades that hang down in the water trough can get dirty and stop sensing the water. Sometimes the water can be too clean or too pure. If you're using RO water, that can cause the sensors not to work. What else? The wires and the control board. That's really it. And the code number 3, the no water code, is a restart on water resupply type error. So if you lose water, the machine will shut off on code number 3, but as soon as water is restored, the machine will turn back on. So something going on, I believe, is possibly just a loose connection, or I may end up coming back and diagnosing something that has to do with the control board of the wire harness, because this location does not have RO water and the spades are clean and all my connections are tight. So I was getting ready to walk away and this machine's shutting off on code number 3 again. So after consulting with the Oracle, I decided to grab the TDS meter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it into that water reservoir and see what it measures. With these Scotsman ice and water dispensers, if the TDS is too low, it just can't pick up the signal doesn't pass through. So it shows as no water. It's kind of weird, but there's a way to fix it. If that's the case, I'll show you how to fix it. Drop the TDS meter in there and reading 3 parts per million. So the way we make that read a little bit higher is really hard to see, but inside there, we add a scale inhibitor, which does a couple things. One, this like white crusty buildup, it helps eliminate that. Plus it adds a little bit of stuff to the water so that the spade connectors can send the water in the reservoir. I'm gonna open that up and see what it looks like, see if it's actually in need of replacing. Just pulled it out. Turns out there is a scale stick in there, not all the way used up. So I'm gonna put this back together. Maybe I'm an idiot, maybe I'm a genius. I think I figured out a quick fix to this RO water sensor probe not being able to read each other situation. So what I did was, previously the spades were in the water trough kind of spread apart like this. And I noticed that once the water level started to drop, it would not sense water, and then the water level would rise a little bit and it would sense water. So what I did was I bent the probes to where they're about that far away from each other. I think make it easier for the 2 probes to send that little signal across the RO water and sense each other. So let me show you what that looks like in the machine. Obviously, we don't want the probes to touch, because if they do touch and the machine stops getting water, it'll cause a big freeze up in the auger, and the machine will have some type of major malfunction, and we don't want that. So kind of hard to see, but I just kind of moved them to where they were nice and close together, and that seems to be doing what I needed to do. So assuming that this works just fine, quick little overview. Code 3 is the no water code. The error 3 is the no water error. A couple things to check: if your spade connectors are dirty, that would cause your no water. Let's see, if you're actually getting no water, that would cause a no water. Clogged water filter, too low of a TDS can cause a no water fault. So if you're feeding your machine with RO water, that could cause a no water fault. So for this Scotsman ice and water dispenser, HID 525A, no water call, a quick fix. Just I moved the 2 little spade water sensors closer together, and it made the machine work just fine. So check me out, Patreon, icemachine411 at gmail.com. Subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. We'll see you on the next one.